244 requests that a policy revision be considered so that volunteers for book drives or similar events are held to the same high standard as our parents who volunteer at our school. Member McCullough requested to amend the item as to institute a system-wide training program for volunteers, and Member Mailman accepted the amendment to her item. I know that there is backup here, and certainly open that up to administration. And my ask would just be if we could confirm what the training and expectations are. I know it says there are different types of trainings. I don't know who from administration is speaking on this, if there's anyone here. I don't know if Dr. Morris is speaking on this, or I'm not sure.
Through the chair, may I speak?
Yes, thank you.
Of course. So after careful consideration, we have decided not to make any changes to the current volunteer policy at this time and the training that comes with it. However, we will continue to monitor the policy's implementation, and we do remain open to revisiting should there be any new information that comes forward.
Thank you. So I guess maybe could you just elaborate a little bit possibly about, you know, I do see the backup, so I'm not trying to say that I haven't read that because I certainly have, especially since I had filed a amendment on this. Could we just talk a little bit? It looks like there are different types of trainings maybe people receive. I know everyone has to do the CORI and there are expectations around that, but do we have like a system-wide training that volunteers that are going to be doing like long-term volunteer work have to follow, or is it simply that they are doing the CORI and understand what the policy is?
That's a great question. Through the chair, that's a great question. So it would be the CORI process as is listed, where that's the universal expectation at this point in time across the board.
Okay. Vice Chair Biancheria?
So let's take a look at this. We're not going to make any changes, number one. Number two is if you pass the CORI, then you are allowed to be a volunteer in a school. Am I correct on that?
Through the chair, yes, that is correct.
Okay, and in the past, sometimes there's been dancing around, even though people have passed a CORI and other people weren't happy with who was going to a school and so on. Let's hope that doesn't happen again, because people who are volunteers are volunteers. And if they pass the CORI, they pass the CORI. But if we run into any issues or consideration of changing this, it'll be brought back to the committee in full. And that's how I would look at this. Am I correct in that?
Through the chair, yes, that is my understanding.
Thank you.
Member Roy?
I have no questions.
Member Johnson?
Yeah, through the chair, I guess to administration, I would respectfully disagree with my colleague, Member Biancheria. I don't know if we need to add something to the policy with the caveat that it will also be potentially final say if there's any questions brought up from the superintendent. As we are aware of some issues or whatever, there has to be some caveat in there where there is the superintendent has the right to come in and say yes or no, even though an individual has passed the CORI, based on information that they may know of, or maybe information that they might be made aware of, whether or not it's substantiated or not. I do not feel comfortable with anyone who passes a CORI has a right to just walk into our schools or whatever. If we are aware that there are some concerns or whatever, we need to be able to address that, and there should be somebody, which would be, in my eyes, the superintendent, to make that call. So I don't know if we need to, based on what I'm asking, I could put that in a motion and send that back to administration to see if they want to, if they're in agreement to add in that caveat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Member Biancheria?
That's my point of what I said. It is exactly my point. You said it, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
That's my point.
All right, thank you.
Because
I appreciate that, because I also was under the, yes, thank you. That was, I did not understand that clarification either, so I'm glad that Member Johnson brought that up, so that
Right.
it's, yes, okay.
But I wasn't gonna bring it up because it always seems to be me going, so, thank you. Because, as far as I'm concerned, if there are questions, we have a superintendent, and let's hope he's thorough in what he's doing and takes a look at the information he is receiving, along with the fact that it's not just something that, gee, was on Facebook 20, you know, it's got to be a little substantial to turn around and look to see what is going on. So I certainly appreciate what my colleague has brought up, and I'm sorry, it's not a humorous piece, it's just that I'm finding humor in it personally. So I think that that's a good idea to have that statement added onto what we have here.
All right, so I'll add that since Member Johnson threw it out there, Member Johnson's motion that in addition to approving the policy as is, that there is language that says we'll say the superintendent, but if the superintendent or their designee has the final authority about volunteers that are allowed in our school buildings. So is that something that we're comfortable? All right. So Madam Clerk, if we could approve that with the motion, then call the roll, please.
Vice Chair Biancheria.
Sorry.
Quick question, I'm sorry. So where would that be printed? Where was that going to be?
So that's a good question. I think once we confirm, we'll say pending confirmation with the superintendent's office that superintendent or designee is the proper language, then that could be put right into our policy manual, since GB 5-78 is that placeholder item that can go right in there, and that also can be communicated that there's an update to the policy manual.
Is that possible to send that to the principals, that there is an update on that?
Yes.
I guess that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll make a motion that the principals are informed that there is an update on what this is, please.
Okay.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Vice Chair Biancheria.
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
Member Roy.
Yes.
Chairperson McCullough.
Yes. All right, so we got that.